What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the All Things Footy podcast. This is being recorded on Thursday, November the 10th, this will go out probably the 12th of November on Saturday. And this is going to be a reaction to Southgate's picked England side to go to the World Cup. His 26-man team has just dropped. And you would have seen on Wednesday how I posted my predictions to who we'd pick. I got most of them right. I'm pretty proud of myself, but a couple of them wrong, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, but what it turns out to be. And I'm just gonna go through it basically. Obviously, Pickford, Ramsdale, and Pope, pretty easy picks. I guess those as well. For defenders, he's picked Stones, Alexander-Arnold, Eric Dyer, Connor Cody, Ben White, Luke Shaw, Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire, and Kieran Trippier. Notable absentees being Mark Gahey and, in my opinion, Fikayo Tomori. Now, I picked both Connor Cody and Harry Maguire, which are two of the three main, or it's Connor Cody, Eric Dyer, and Harry Maguire, who are the three defenders in question, right? Should they go? Should they stay home? I thought he was going to take Cody, again, not for his footballing ability, which I mentioned, but more so that leadership and experience. I don't know too much about that and what that means in like a World Cup or a big European competition setting, like the World Cup and the Euros. But according to Southgate and many of his players, they said Connor Cody was the most important piece in their 2020 or 2021 Euro finalist side. So off that knowledge, I'm going to trust the players and the manager and say he's got to go for that reason. And then I thought you have to pick between Dyer and Maguire if you're Southgate. You don't got to take both of them. I thought he would have taken one and picked Tomori, because Tomori, AC Milan might not be at the best start in Serie A this year, but he's a winner. He's He's young. He's got a abundance of recovery pace, and I think he would be a really, really good center back, partnering with like a John Stones. And it would be really, really good cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold. You now take Harry Maguire and Dyer, where I think one of them starts next to Stones. That kind of limits Trent to bombing up the pitch, because Dyer and Maguire are not the fastest center backs in the world and can't do a good job covering like a Tomori would do, in my opinion. But yeah, I thought Southgate would pick Maguire because I think he's good and I rate him more than Eric Dyer. But picking both of them and dropping Tomori completely, I'm not too sure about that, and we'll see if it costs England in the World Cup. But yeah, I thought for sure Tomori would go, and then I realized this morning that before the World Cup squad even dropped, Southgate told Tomori that he's not going to the World Cup, which is a bit of a shame. But we move to the midfielders of Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher, Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, and Mason Mount. I got the most wrong in this scenario, but I picked, I think, seven. I picked seven, I think, midfielders or something like that. But I had James Ward-Prowse in there. I didn't have Calvin Phillips in there, but also I had James Maddison in there, who got picked as an attacker, and I'll explain that in a little while as well. But yeah, Calvin Phillips, I think, has played like 11 minutes of football this season, so it's weird for him to get picked for the World Cup, especially because Southgate, picks players on form and things like that. He's a really good player, and I think he could do a job for England, but is he going to be completely fit is the question. I mean, you have a fit box-to-box, proven midfielder this season in James Ward-Prowse, who's been really, really good, and you're not taking him off a guy who, isn't completely fit yet. It's not like the center backs where we have, like Kyle Walker, for example, isn't completely fit, but he's a really, really good center back, and we don't have too many good, fast defenders. I say we like I'm English, but I'm just referring to England. You have abundance of midfielders for England, in my opinion. I think Calvin Phillips is a good player, but I don't know if he's gonna even be a sub, because he won't even come on the pitch, I don't think, because of his injury. Is it too much of a risk to play him? He's only played 11 minutes of football. I mean, I can't quite wrap my head around that pick. But Conor Gallagher, a decent player. I do like him at Chelsea. I think he's very, very creative and a good player to bring on maybe when you need a goal and you need like your midfielders to drive forward and attack. But again, same thing over like James Ward-Prowse, who's proven himself as like a box-to-box midfielder. Conor Gallagher last season did really, really well, and this season at times he's looked very, very bright. But on a consistent basis to make the World Cup over James Ward-Prowse, not too sure. But I like the inclusion of Gallagher more than I do of Calvin Phillips, just because Calvin Phillips has been injured for a while. But yeah, it's a pretty good midfield six, that is, I believe. And yeah, hopefully they can get the job done. You obviously got Mount, Henderson, Rice, and Bellingham, who I all predicted as well. Then we move on to the forwards, where we got the Harry Kane, which I predicted, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Saka, obviously Sterling. I picked James Maddison as a midfielder. I didn't think he'd be registered under an attacker, but I had a feeling James Maddison would go. I was hoping Southgate would pick him because of the outstanding season he's been having for Leicester this season and seasons in the past. Like, he's been on form for the last 2 years. Like, he's been amazing in my opinion. So the best player in that Leicester side is only, I think, 25, or 26. His big move is coming for sure if he wants that. We got Callum Wilson, who I predicted to go as well. He's having a great season at Newcastle, and Newcastle's a great team this year. I mean, they're, I think, third in the Prem right now. I think they're second highest scoring behind City. Callum Wilson's leading the line, scores about a goal a game, it seems like. Played very well against like Tottenham, for example, comes to mind. Yeah, he's a great player, and I think he offers a lot. He's very similar to Kane in ways, but I think he offers a lot of differences as well. Like, he has a little more pace, I feel like. I think Callum Wilson's more of a poacher that just likes to stick around the box and stuff. Harry Kane's more of a creative striker, in my opinion. Like, drops deeper, gets his wingers involved, and then goes into the box, whatever. But I like the addition of Callum Wilson. Probably won't start for England, but I think we'll definitely see an appearance from him in the World Cup in like a late game role with like 10 minutes to go. You need a goal. You bring on Callum Wilson. I like that pickup a lot. Marcus Rashford, I forgot if I picked him. I could be wrong. If I didn't pick him, I think I definitely would have if I remembered. I think he's a great player who could impact the game again late on. Don't think he starts for England because of all the talent they have going forward, but you know all about Marcus Rashford, what he's going to do. He's going to look to get in behind every single time. And he has the pace to do that. He has when he's one of the fastest players in the Premier League, and he definitely deserves a chance in England, and he's proven it times before at the national level of how good he is. I just hope that he could find some form, maybe in United's last game going into the World Cup, in the friendlies leading up to the World Cup. I hope he could find form, because on his day, I think Marcus Rashford's a really, really good footballer. And yeah, I just hope to see the best of him at the World Cup. And we got Jack Grealish, who I predicted to go. A creative player similar to Maddison, who they needed to play. A player who's confident in himself, looks to be the man most of the time, but because of his role in City, the players he has around him, he's not always looking to be the man anymore, because he has Kevin De Bruyne behind him. He's got Haaland up top. He's got so much quality around him, and put that in the England team, he's going to be a very, very creative outlet for England on that left wing, or maybe play him in the 10. But I think that's why they took Maddison. I think Maddison might play a 10 role at times for England. But yeah, Grealish was a big signing as well. And yeah, that's about it for the England team. Let me know what you guys think. Did Southgate get it right? Where do you think England are going to finish in this World Cup? I would really like them to see it I'd really like to see England bring it home and win the whole thing. But it's tournament football. Anything could happen. And yeah, just let me know. What did you think of Southgate's picks? There's been some quite notable omissions, in my opinion. Fakao Tomori is the biggest one that sent out to me, and James Ward-Prowse. You guys let me know what you think about those omissions. And yeah, did Southgate get it right? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Take care and peace, everybody.